Welcome to That'sPuffedUp.com, the podcast, a interactive recreational cannabis community to learn, exchange, share the wisdom of weed. Welcome, puffers and puffettes, to another episode of That'sPuffedUp.com, the podcast. Once again, I want to thank you for listening, and for those who have listened and still listening, I appreciate you listening, and thank you for sticking around and hanging in there with me. And for those that listen and no longer listen, I appreciate you listening for as long as you did. And if you want to come back and listen, I'll be more than happy to have you come back and listen. Now, we got that out the way. Let's get our legal disclaimer out the way. Legal disclaimer: Leafly.com nor Crop Kings are associated, affiliated, sponsors, or in any way, shape, or form supplying any kind of financial compensation to That'sPuffedUp.com. They are just two great products that I have to endorse. Leafly for the knowledge, and Crop Kings because they make a good product. Non-licking roll up and stick, man, that is a good one. I would recommend everybody go check out Crop Kings for a better wrap experience, and go check out Leafly.com for a better cannabis information experience. Both of them great. Get to them as soon as you can. That's out the way. On this week's episode, our strain of the week is going to be Jealousy, and that is a strain that is very unique. Hopefully you will enjoy it and give me some feedback on it at 716-869-3374, and let us know what you think about Jealousy and how was the buzz that you got from it. Whether you would smoke it in the future, or is it something that you just didn't care for too much. But give us a little insight on what you think about it, because this is stuff people like to know. And you trying to find a suitable strain for yourself kind of helps to get information from people who've tried the strain. Maybe they enjoyed it, maybe they didn't enjoy it, maybe it was some aspects about it they loved, then there was some aspects about it they didn't like. That's helpful information when you're trying to choose a strain for yourself. Not everybody can smoke the same thing. Different strains, different reactions, different high you get. It depends on the high you like and the high you're trying to get. So now that we done got through all of that, we're going to talk a little bit today that Ohio is now about to vote on recreational marijuana use. Now, I haven't been keeping up as to when that vote's taking place, but Ohio is the next state to go recreational marijuana legal. So if you in Ohio and you ready to get your puff on, keep an eye out, get out, vote, and vote that initiative so that you can get recreational marijuana in Ohio. I don't live too far from Ohio. I'm like 2 hours drive from Cleveland. So if it's happening down there, best believe I'm going to go check it out when I get a chance to see what their marijuana dispensary setup, sales, distribution system is set up, and how it works, and whether it's any good or not. And depending on the prices, because New York State is kicking the shit out of us. The taxes they trying to charge just to purchase marijuana is outrageous. This is a greedy ass state when it comes to taxes. They just greedy. They always trying to grill you for extra pennies for anything you do in this damn state. Now, I'm appreciative that recreational marijuana is legal here. I'm not appreciative is this high ass tax y'all putting on it, and y'all wondering why the street dealers is outperforming the dispensaries. Because the price is too fucking high. That's why. Plain and simple. The taxes is too fucking high for anybody to want to put any long-term or steady use into a dispensary, knowing that shit, what I'm paying for in the dispensary, I can get two out on the street. So if I'm paying $40 or $30 for an eighth on the street, why the hell I'm going to go to the dispensary and pay $60 for the same damn eighth? Duh. Like I said, bad rollout from the get-go. Whoever this Office of Cannabis Management Control Board is, them people are fucking idiots. They have no idea what the hell they doing, and they screwing up the entire recreational market in New York State, and they don't even realize how bad they fucking it up because they too damn arrogant to listen to the people who actually purchase and smoke marijuana. I don't know. We'll figure that out sooner or later. But before I get into the strain of the week, which is coming up next, I just want to clear some things up from last week's episode. This is the reason why I usually don't get my buzz on before I start recording these episodes, because sometimes I might be a little bit lifted when I'm speaking, and sometimes I tend to say things that I didn't mean to say it that way. Now, last week on the Wisdom of Weed, I kept calling it the World of Weed. That's because I had a buzz going on. But it's supposed to be Wisdom of Weed, so we're going to correct that this week on this episode. And anybody who heard last week's episode, just disregard that World of Weed part. Even though World of Weed might be something I'll use in the future, just not sure yet. But right now we're going to stick with the Wisdom of Weed. All right. So now let's get into the strain of the week. Welcome to the strain of the week. This week's strain is Jealousy. Now, Jealousy is a hybrid marijuana. It has a THC of 19% with a CBD of 1%. Now, the strain highlights are feelings of giggly, talkative, and energetic. The negatives are anxious, headache, and dizzy. Helps with anxiety, depression, and stress. Now, Jealousy is a hybrid weed strain made by crossing Sherbert BX1 with Gelato 41. Jealousy is known for its balancing effects. Reviewers who have smoked this strain say it makes them feel mentally relaxed but physically energetic. Jealousy can test into the high 20s in terms of THC percentage. Ideal for experienced cannabis consumers. Jealousy was originally bred by Seed Junkie Genetics. Now, Jealousy strain flavors are pepper, plum, and earthy. This is a good strain if you just want to relax your mind, but at the same time, you want to be able to be productive in your day. I would say this is a good daytime weed because it's a good stress relaxer. It'll remove all of that stress out of your brain, but at the same time, it won't relax your body so much that you can't get things done. So, Jealousy, good daytime weed. I would recommend it to anybody who wants to give it a try. And we'll be back at that'spuffedup.com. Welcome, puffers and puffettes, to the Wisdom of Weed section of that'spuffedup.com, the podcast. And this week, I said I was going to come back with the Munchies episode. And we're going to get into different munchies and things that you can nibble on when you getting your puff on, especially when the munchies kick in, because sometimes they can knock you on your ass. All right, as far as munchies go, now there is different ways you can get your munchies on. Now, if you having a puff session, and once again, sign up for the newsletter, it will give you details on how to have a successful puff session and the essential elements needed for a good puff session. One of them is munchies. You got to make sure that you got your munchies in check before you get your puff on, because the worst thing in the world is to get your puff on, got a really good buzz floating, munchies kick in only to realize you ain't got shit to munch on. Now, that didn't happen to me a few times. Believe me, it ain't no damn fun when your stomach is talking to your ass, you high as hell, and you ain't got nothing to service your hunger. That shit will annoy the hell out of you. Fuck up your buzz, too, because it'll make you a little bit irritable and that's kind of sucky, and give you that dry cotton mouth situation when you don't have nothing to eat or drink. So first element of Munchies is make sure you have got water so you can stay hydrated. Always stay hydrated as much as you can. So keep some water on hand for whenever you getting your puff on. All right, because you're going to want to drink before you smoke. You're going to want to drink while you're smoking, and you're going to want to have something to drink after you smoking. Keep water on tap. I don't recommend tap water depending on where you live, because here where I live, don't drink the fucking tap water unless you run that shit through a filter or some kind of Brita pitcher or something. We got some nasty ass water. That shit tastes horrible. Always try to keep you some water on hand when you getting your puff on. Now, as far as Munchies go, it depends on what you into as far as your taste goes. Now, fast food can be a staple for your Munchies because why? It's fast, it's food, somebody else make it, drop a few dollars, you got you something to munch on. Thing is, you want to either purchase it before you start getting your puff on, or you want to make sure you got some kind of delivery service to deliver to you, because you shouldn't be puffing and driving. That's unsafe. Don't do it. And if you get pulled over, you can end up with a very hefty ticket. And as my uncle used to say, that's just giveaway money, because you could have stayed your ass at home and found something in your house instead of taking a chance driving while you're high, knowing that if you get pulled over, you're going to have to give up some money. That's giveaway money. Don't give any money away. You could be using that getting your puff on. But as far as your Munchies go, make sure it's something that is enjoyable more than it is convenient. Because you don't want to just eat anything. You want to make sure that the food that you eating, you actually enjoy eating it, not just choking down some shit just because you got the Munchies and you needed to get that hunger pain out of your stomach, so you just go ahead and, hey, whatever is available, I'll just eat it. That's kind of fucked up. Even though getting your cannabis puff on tends to make nasty food taste a little bit better, and good food tastes great, and great food just blows your mind, it's still important to make sure you like what you eat so you can have a pleasurable experience. I done been down that road where I got puffed up. I was Munchies kicking my ass, and I ate some shit that really I shouldn't have ate, because first of all, it didn't taste that damn good, but I had the Munchies, so I was trying to kill them hunger pains, and I went and ate this shit. And the next day, if my stomach was not tore the fuck up from that nasty ass food, that's what you got to be careful of. You tend to taste food differently when you got your buzz on, and then you got the Munchies kicking in hardcore. And when the Munchies kick in hardcore, nasty food tastes edible. And that is the problem that you may have when you getting your buzz on. Make sure you know the food you like, the place that can make it to taste and cook it to your specifications and your like, and make sure you keep that on hand. Don't just go out here and grab any shit. You know, like most of the times you get those, they'll go to the Costco's or something like that and come back with a bunch of chips and shit like that, which is fine. Don't get me wrong. Just don't get the cheap off-brand name shit. You know what I'm saying? Get some Lay's, get some Fritos, you know, some Doritos, something. If you're going to get that type of food, get the good shit. Don't come back with some off-name brand shit with a bunch of processed cheese powder and flavoring and synthetic shit all up in it. One, because it's not good for your health, but two, because it's going to taste crappy and you eating crappy food. Don't do it. If you're going to get your puff on, make sure you eat properly. If you health conscious, then you're going to do something like you might put together a fruit basket or a little fruit salad. That's good food. Or you might have a veggie platter and might have, you know, a low-fat dip or something, you know, ranch dip or something like that you can dip your vegetables in and get your Munchies on. But far as fast food places go, not all is great, but not all is bad. It just depends on what you're ordering from the menu and what's good to you. So I'm not going to disparage or throw any salt on the fast food restaurants. because they can come in really handy when you're hungry. And some of them actually have healthy options. You just got to know which ones and then pick out the healthy options if you health conscious. But if you like most of us who just trying to kill them munchies, then, pretty much most of the menu is okay depending on what you like. Just make sure it's a place that's preparing proper food. Not all fast food locations going to prepare their shit the same way. Some of them you'll go, this is a great place, I'll eat here all the time. Other places you walk in and you be like, oh shit, okay, this is my first and last time ordering anything out this nasty ass place, because it depends on the employees and how well they maintain them, because a lot of franchises, people don't tend to hold up to the standard of the franchise, and some of them just don't really give a shit because we getting paid and we making money, so y'all gonna get whatever we serve you, like it or don't like it, this what you getting. Don't want to eat them places too many, because you work hard for your money, and damn if you want to give it up on some bullshit so somebody else can enjoy your money while you eating bullshit. Now, I'm not going to sit here and list all of the fast food choices that there is out there. That is for you to pick which fast food place you like. Me, I'm more of a Taco Bell. I like Taco Bell because you can get a good deal for your money. And if it's more than one person that you puffing with and you want to make sure everybody gets something good to nibble on, then you can go to Taco Bell. You can get one of those big old taco packs where you get like 10 tacos and 2 burritos, or you can get the crunch wraps and all of that stuff, and that's nice when you can get a big box of tacos that you can split up amongst who all coming through to get their puff on with you, if this is a session or if this is just you puffing alone. Now, if it's just you puffing alone, they got plenty of specials you can get, bring it back, get your puff on, then get your munchies on. Only thing is, it doesn't taste really too good when it get cold. So if you go hit Taco Bell, make sure you can get items that you can either reheat up in a microwave or they hold good at room temperature. Last thing you want is cold food that's supposed to be hot, or hot food that's cold. I don't know if this came out right, but anyway, I said it. That is what I'm talking about when it comes to fast food places. You got to make sure that if it's something you get out of there that it'll either hold at room temperature to where it's still tasty and edible and can satisfy your munchies, or something that you can heat up in the microwave or in the stove or your air fryer or something like that, that you can get it back up to that after cooked temperature and enjoy yourself. Because the main thing about munchies, you want to enjoy the munchies. You don't want to just eat just to be eaten. You want to eat and enjoy what you eating, because why? It makes your buzz a whole lot more better. When you can get enjoyment what you eating and you get an enjoyment on what you puffing on. So that's a combo. I would highly recommend you plan out your munchies before you get your puff on, because it's kind of hard to do it when you're a little bit buzzed, because you tend to just mind be all over the place when you're trying to concentrate on something on what you want to eat, and then you'll find yourself eating stuff that you're like, I didn't really like that. I didn't really want that. And then you tend to overeat and binge, and that's not good if you health conscious. So plan it out if you're health conscious. If you're not worried about your weight and all of that, then just make sure it's something that you enjoy eating, and it comes at a good price, and it comes at quality. You want quality food over price. I'm willing to spend a few dollars more for some good quality food compared to the garbage that you're going to get when you go cheap. One option is to don't eat out at all. Hit the grocery store, get what you need to get to make you something good to nibble on when you're getting your munchies on, and then bring your shit home, make it your damn self, because that way you know, one, it's going to be something you want to eat. Two, you know it's going to be prepared properly. And three, you know it's going to be cooked to your satisfaction and your life. And you can't beat that. Home cooking is always better than trying to go out somebody else cooking for you. But for the rest of us who can't afford them places or just don't like eating at places like that, cooking at home is always a better option, especially if you do it before you get your buzz on. Or you can do a puff, put out, and then go in there in the kitchen and cook you something up. Got your nice little buzz working while you in there whipping it up. Depending on the strain you puffing on, you might find yourself cooking up a storm and then sitting back getting your puff on again while getting your munchies on. So it's up to you. Plan it out, put it together, make it happen. Like I said, if you sign up for the email newsletter, we can give you recipes of certain dishes that we have developed over the years that we like to munch on. We can give you recommendations on certain kinds of fast food joints, but not a lot because we are really specific about who we fuck with when it comes to eating out. And we have a few that we do endorse and a whole lot that we don't even fuck with. We ain't gonna get into the ones we don't fuck with, but we will send you information on the ones that we do, and it's your choice. You might think it's a good list, then you might look and read and say, you know what, all these places is shit to me in my area. So it depends where you live, how they operate, how they maintain quality of the food and the reputation of that location. But please sign up for the newsletter because we got more information coming with more info on Munchies, getting your buzz on wraps, events, legalization of recreational marijuana. We're going to keep a listing of the states that are now allowing recreational marijuana. Y'all can maintain and keep up on that information so you can get your buzz on when it becomes legal in your neck of the woods. Then we're going to have a new strain that we're going to talk about in the next episode. I'm not going to divulge what that one is yet. I'm going to let that be a surprise because it's a good one and it's a really good strain. And I love it because I've smoked it for years. So I'm going to sneak that one on you on the surprise tip for next episode. So please make sure you come back to that'spuffedup.com, the podcast. In the meantime, please check out our website, www.that'spuffedup.com, and you can check out our new clothing section. We got gear there. We got hats. We got T-shirts. We got leggings. We got sweatpants. In the future, we might be doing sneakers. So keep a lookout for that because we're going to have some fly-ass sneakers that's going to be coming up soon. But for right now, we just standard swag, things to make you look fly. It's got our logo on it. We're going to have a limited edition item coming out soon. So make sure you come back for next week's episode to find out that limited edition and how many of them that we're going to have available. Like I said, it's going to be a limited edition, so it's going to be a limited quantity to the amount we're going to put out. So you're going to want to get yours before they all sold out. It's going to be a hot item. Going to have the That's Puffed Up logo on it. I would highly recommend you come pick you up one. So that'll be for next week's episode where I'll give you information on that new limited edition swag that we got coming out. And we will be getting in the next week's episode on the Win a Free Bag of Bud contest. We're going to finally get that kicking off. And that's going to be a part of the next week's episode because next week, Saturday, will be the official start date of a puff session weekend. And every second Saturday of the month, what we want y'all to do is plan out your puff session, get the essential elements you need for a successful puff session, have everything in place, and then y'all get y'all puff session on and then give us a call at 716-869-3374 and let us know how your puff session went. What was the elements that you had for your puff session, what you munched on, what you was drinking on, what you was puffing on. We want to know all that information because that helps others out here to inspire them to come up with new and creative ways to enjoy their puff session. So that's starting all next weekend. Don't miss it. Make sure you hit us up at 716-869-3374 and let us know about your puff session and how you got your puff session on. Also, you can leave a message letting us know what you puffing on because we want to know what you like about it. And would you recommend it to anybody else? And how was the buzz you got from what you was puffing on? Also, you can go to the website, www.that'spuffedup.com, and you can look over on the right-hand side of your screen. You'll see a blue tab that says send a voice message. You can send us a voice message. Let us know what you're puffing on. Let us know what you think about the podcast, the website, the gear, information that is being presented to you on that'spuffedup.com. And you can also let us know information that you want us to cover on that'spuffedup.com. This is an interactive, recreational community podcast to like, exchange, share the wisdom of weed. So that's going to do it for me for this week on the Wisdom of Weed section. And that's going to put us to the end of today's episode. So please come back and like, share, give us a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. We on both platforms. Amazon Music, we on there too. We're on all major streaming platforms. So if you want to give us a review, check us out. We also on YouTube, same name, that'spuffedup.com. Like, share, and subscribe. Really appreciate it. But most importantly, and the thing that we want the most, is we want y'all to give us information. Call in 716-869-3374. Let us know what you think about That's Puffed Up. Let us know what you're smoking on. Let us know what you think about the gear. Let us know what you think about the newsletter, the email, information that we're giving you. All constructive criticism is welcome. Why waste your time sending in a negative comment? If you don't have anything constructive, then don't say anything at all. Because this is the freedom that you have the choice to not listen. If you don't like the show, don't listen to it. Plain and simple. Don't need your negative comment or opinion. If you don't like the show, just don't listen. Plain and simple. This is not for those who not into smoking marijuana. Our whole premise of the show is getting your puff on and the high and enjoyment you get from getting your puff on. And we're going to try to help everybody else to get their puff on in a responsible, productive way so that they can enjoy and have the pleasure of enjoying their buzz. And that's all we about. We're going to end that on that note. And once again, like I said, please visit the website, www.that'spuffedup.com, and let us know what you think. Share your information. Give us your tips, tricks, hacks. One thing else before we sign off. Our newsletter will contain a list of the top 10 aphrodisiac strains. The ones that make you want to get your freak on. We're going to list the top 10 of those strains. And believe me, it's a lot more than 10. But we just going to list our top 10 of our freak strains. That's what we're going to call them, though. Top 10 freaky strains that's out there to make you get your freak on, make you feel kind of horny and tear up the bedroom and fuck up the sheets and have drawers spinning around on the ceiling fan and stuff like that. So please sign up for the newsletter. Go to www.that'spuffedup.com. Excuse me. Even though I'm not buzzed, I'm still feeling a little after effects from earlier. But www.that'spuffedup.com and sign up for our newsletter, and we will hit you up with the top 10 aphrodisiac strains. Now, one thing I'm going to make very clear here. Ladies, this shit affects you more than it affects men. So be careful about the next man that you decide you want to get your puff on. Get that list and know how to handle your high so you don't end up butt naked in a bed with a dude you wasn't intending to fuck in the first place. Now, I'm going to end it right there. This is your master of puffology, Professor Zoe. Thank you for listening. Hopefully you come back and listen to us next week and be a future listener for all future episodes. Once again, we will have the puff session starting next weekend. So get your old puff essentials together and you have your wonderful puff session. We also going to be starting in August, the first annual Budnik. We're going to have a bud and picnic combo where you get your puff on and then get your munch on in a picnic-like setting. So we're going to have all kind of THC-infused food items for our Budnik. We're going to have local dispensaries who might offer discounts, specials, and sales at the location. We're going to have food trucks that's going to be serving up specialty dishes, THC-infused specialty item and dishes only at the Budnik. It's the only place you'll be able to get it. Keep up with us. Sign up for the newsletter. Put your email in there so we have you on our email list, and we will hit you off with all that information. Also, check out the event sections on our website. We'll list more information on the Butnick on that one as it comes up, because what's better than bud and barbecue? Hell of a combination, especially when it's good barbecue. So that's coming up. So stick around for that. Make sure you sign up, and hopefully you will have a pleasurable experience when you come to our event. And we're going to make this a yearly event, so we hoping to rival 420 events with this one. Actually, we going to rival 420. It's going to be, actually, I believe this is going to be bigger than 420, but it is coming up. So please stick with us. It's going to be epic, and you're going to love it. And that does it for me for this episode of That'sPuffedUp.com, the podcast. I want to say to everyone, please enjoy your day. Smoke or edible responsibly. Don't puff and drive. Be safe. Be good. Sit back. Get your puff on and enjoy your buzz. On that note, I wish everyone a very pleasurable puffed up day. Peace.